Alright, this is the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus 5G. I am going to return it. I've had a handful of problems, and for $1,300, I don't want to have a handful of problems, right? So first, let me clarify. I was fully aware I wasn't going to get the insane Verizon speeds, gigabit download speeds. I knew the T-Mobile version had low band coverage. That just meant I would get greater coverage and a little bit faster speeds. I am in Louisville, Kentucky, you can see here, and I usually get pretty good T-Mobile speeds in general. So, but I do travel for work, and I was looking forward to the enhanced coverage. On that front, so first off, let's look at some of my speed test history, right? Somebody actually pointed this out in the comment of my original video, and I didn't even realize it. Look at my results. LTE, 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 LTE. Now look, they're not bad speeds. Like that's 94. That's good. 25, 45. 5G here. So I've only been on 5G one time since I've had this phone. It will say 5G up here, as you see in my previous video, but clearly on the tests, it's not really testing 5G. I'm not getting bad speeds. I'm getting solid speeds, right? 51, 48. And in its defense, we were inside Dave & Buster's, and no one had a signal except me. So that was pretty good. I was inside a doctor's office that is inside a hospital. I work in healthcare, so I'm inside hospitals a lot, and so I know in this doctor's office, I never had signal before. And I did have signal on this phone. It was very low signal. It was probably this 10 here. Yeah, with the 0 uploads. But I did get a signal. I could still get calls. I could still send texts. So that's pretty important when you have this kind of phone. And, you know, that's a pretty good benefit of the phone. And again, no slouch in the speed department for the most part. But again, Louisville is pretty solid. And these are, in general, faster LTE speeds than I regularly get. That being said, that's about the end of the benefits of the phone, right? Because I already have the Note 10 Plus, which is what I'm recording this on. Most people that got the T-Mobile 5G phones would have got the One Plus because it's cheaper. I already had the OnePlus 7 Pro, and OnePlus in general has a bad problem. I had the 6T and then the 7 Pro of where they would miss notifications from time to time. My theory was that was over-aggressive battery optimization, because usually I have multiple phones. If you look at my channel, I've had tons and tons of phones. Like right now, I have the Note 10 Plus, I have the Note 10 Plus 5G, and the OnePlus 7 Pro. So usually I have all my phones set up the same, because I would swap the SIM cards in and out, and then just use one phone at a time, you know, for a week or so, and then swap around. When you have that kind of setup, you'll realize you don't get certain notifications as much. And Samsung's always been the best about getting all my notifications. My theory was over-aggressive battery optimization, and Samsung never had that problem. The Note 10 Plus 5G was missing a lot of notifications that the regular Note 10 Plus was getting, which I thought was very odd. And as I paid more attention, I noticed the battery life was pretty shitty on the Note 10 Plus 5G, whereas the Note 10 Plus regular edition is a pretty solid battery life. I'm a pretty heavy user. I always have a watch connected to it. I listen to music on headphones all the time. I play Sirius on all the time. And I'm, you know, I use it for work. I make lots of calls and lots of emails and texts, of course. And I never had a battery problem with the Note 10 Plus. I thought it was pretty impressive for the battery. Whereas I don't think I've had a day where the 5G versions made it through the day without having to recharge at some point. Whereas the Note 10 Plus generally does pretty good getting me from wake up time to bedtime, which is usually waking up around 6:30 on the weekdays, and I usually stay up pretty late till 10 or 11 at the minimum, sometimes 1 or 2 in the morning. And the Note 10 was a trooper. The Note 10 Plus 5G, not so much. Most likely that's because of the 5G antenna, right? And that's why I think this one was missing. I think Samsung was aware of that, and they probably over-optimized this one, and that's why I wasn't getting so many notifications. they tried to cool down stuff in the background so you didn't have that big a problem. So you did with the battery itself. I could have lived with that. What I can't live with, like I said, I use this phone for work and for business. As I was saying before, most people, at least on Reddit, got the OnePlus 7T McLaren edition 5G version, right? And there was a lot of complaints about GPS on there. And I didn't notice that with this one. But then again, I hadn't really used the GPS that much. So right now, when I'm recording this, it is Saturday, December 21st. So you can see my watch also says Saturday, December 21st. My watch is now connected to this Note 10, so I've switched back. That's why this one is on Wi-Fi and doesn't have a SIM card in it. It is currently December 21st. If you look in my gallery, you can see a screenshot from December 22nd and December 25th. So that was odd. I'm going to blur this out because you don't need to what I was talking about. But one day the time was wrong, and I didn't realize until after the fact, but I had a screenshot and it was showing December 22nd. And I didn't think that was that big a deal. I rebooted, everything was fine. Cut forward to this date. That was on Thursday, December 19th, I believe. I was on a phone call, driving, and then the phone cut out. And I was like, well, that's weird. The call dropped, and I was blaming Tony, the world famous second Tony. And then I took a screenshot. It was telling me it was 3 o'clock, and it was probably 10 a.m. And it was December 25th. And it even caused my watch to update that time. So at that point, I was like, well, this is a problem. I assume that's GPS issues that people were having with the OnePlus 7T. And I don't want to have those kind of problems with my phone. Obviously, I can't be dropping calls, and I can't, I travel for work, so when I go out of town, I need that GPS. I use it for Android Auto. At the time, it was not connected to Android Auto, but I do use Android Auto with it when I travel all the time, and, I can't have GPS going crazy. I get lost in towns I'm not familiar with, and, of course, I can't be dropping phone calls. That same day that happened, when I took these screenshots, the screenshot and this picture, I immediately changed my SIM from this phone to this phone because I had an important phone call coming up, and I didn't want to take a chance of it dropping me off there. So, the combination, one, the price is super expensive. The $1,300 price tag, of course, is pretty hefty. If anything is close to being worth a $1,000 phone, I do think the Note 10 is. There's definitely not $300 worth of improvement from the Note 10 Plus I currently have to this Note 10 Plus 5G. This one is on Android 10, but they've already, as of December 21st, they're already updating the S10 Plus. I'm sure the Note 10 Plus will be coming up soon for the Android 10 update. So it's not worth the $300 bump, of course. As we saw here in my city, where I live, and I travel around. And this is, holiday season. I'm out going to different stores shopping. I went across town, take my mom out to breakfast, running errands, the whole shebang. And I've been running tests pretty frequently, trying to see if I can get any benefit here. And you look, I've only hit 5G one time. Good speeds, but only one time of hitting 5G. So that's not worth the $300 upcharge. Obviously, less battery life is not worth $300 upcharge. And missing notifications I don't like. And of course, I can't have my calls dropping and my GPS not working correctly. So, if you haven't upgraded yet to the 5G version, you're not missing anything yet. Fully wait for the S10. The S11. I'm sure we'll have a 5G version, or maybe even wait for the Note 11 to see if it pieces out something. But don't get it twisted. The Note 10 Plus, which I'm recording this on now, is an excellent phone and will continue to be my daily driver. You just don't need the 5G version. Alright, thanks for checking me out. Watch my other Note 10 Plus videos so you can see how much I like this phone. Not the 5G though. Alright, thanks.